So, who shall we begin with? First question. Sanjay sir.
Coach, 3 in a row. So, what is your next resolution for your team?
Results didn't come on our side. We cannot hide it. It's true. We are not happy with the way we ended the games, but we have to take the positivities. There are 3 of the best teams of the ISL: Mumbai City, Mohun Bagan, and Goa, and perfectly the result could come in our side if we control that small details that always decide the game. I mean, we were competing well with all of them, and unfortunately we didn't get the desired results, but there are a lot of positivities. Our team in a difficult stage, as all of you know, and if we can compete at this stage, I think that slowly when we recover and when we have our full potential, we will put the team where we want to be.
What is the injury update your team?
Same, similar to the last weeks. In the foreigners, we have Hector coming back and not fully ready to play 90 minutes. Saul is still recovering from his muscle problem. And the rest of the foreigners, probably they will be available. We have some small issues, but probably they are going to be able to play tomorrow. And on the local side, we continue trying to recover Lacra, Raki, Panguar. Mark is slowly recovering and will have more participation in the next games. So our hospital is slowly getting better.
Hi, Mark, this is Mohan from Oxford. When you got injured at that point, team was in a different situation, and when you came back after your injury, team is in a different condition. So right now, what is your goal with this season, and how much it could be recovered, do you think?
Yeah, it was very difficult for me at that moment, but like the time has passed and we have new coach, and I think everything changed, like the playing style, how we train, everything was going very good.
But one thing, junior player like you are, your team is in a deep trouble, but you junior players, this is the time to prove yourself. But now in your side, you are compelled to take the huge responsibility. Don't you think it is an added pressure on you?
No, actually it's not that. I don't take these things as a pressure. I take like it's a chance for us to prove ourselves that we are good enough to play in the highest league.
You only came back in the last match, like this first appearance after the injury. Okay, next question for Mark. Mark, one question, like it's not easy, to be out of action for 3 months, and you exactly made a comeback after 3 months, against Chelsea in the last match towards the latter half. So tell us about during that phase, because that injury was very unfortunate, and how you coped with that phase and how the medical staff helped you come back, and how the last 3 months were for you, and how like mentally and physically, how did you cope with that phase to make a comeback?
Yeah, coming back after 3 months of injury was like it's really very hard for me. Like you need to have patience. I need to focus on the rehab. Yeah, like every day was like about pushing limits, stay focused, and despite the situation, you need to have a very calm mind. And yeah, I want to thank the medical team, everyone associated with the club for their help throughout my recovery.
Okay. Coach, Shivaji.
Hi Coach, good morning. Shivaji from Boston Newspaper. I have 2 questions. Number 1, since the tough situation for Istanbul, as a technical person, how much it is difficult to motivate your players? Number 1. Number 2, please.
Let's go one by one. Otherwise I'm gonna come in everything.
Sure.
not difficult to motivate our players. If you go to the standings of the last 10 games, our situation in the table is completely different. So we could be perfectly be fighting for the objective that we had at the beginning of the season. I continue saying that we have a handicap of the first 6 games of the season, so when you complete the 25% of the games with 0 points, no doubt that in the first problem that you have during the season, the problem is going to be bigger. So that's the situation that we have. It's not difficult to motivate our players. We started the week having a strong word to them. You already say 3 consecutive losses. So tomorrow, being our home game, having our fans here, having slowly recovering our players, having a new recruit on the team, we are not thinking in other thing than getting the 3 points. Let's see if we can turn the things around, and when we have, as I say, the full potential, we can connect 2, 3 or 4 consecutive wins to mitigate all the doubts that are still on the team. From us, I think we really have a strong team, seriously. It's not just a consideration and opinion, but we need to be at our full potential, and in that moment, again, we will prove that this team has been made to much more than being in the current situation.
And number 2, it is a real asset for your defense to protect emotionally, because if you remember in the first leg, Noah killed his defense, so it's a big asset for your right back.
Right, Kuru, Luna in the central areas making the distribution, Noah being a very sharp player, always finding depth on the left side, and a team that relies a lot on the counter-attacks, and a team that usually do the second half better than the first half. So this is the identity of Kerala. On the other side, you mentioned the problems that we have in our defense. Mostly we are conceding the goals in transition and in defending counter-attacks. Probably because we are not applying well the counter-pressing or the holding, and then we are having problems on the back of our defenders. We need to still keep working on this. As I told you before, Hector probably is not going to be there for the 90 minutes, and we have injuries with Anwar, with Lakra, and with Rakib. So you can imagine how difficult for us is setting the defense, but our work, especially in this game, because of the conditions of the opponent, are towards that, and not in speculating, and probably if we are minded to be more attacking and score first, the team automatically is going to be more holding and more reliable on what to do on the defending stages.
Sir, realistically, is it possible to qualify for the Super 6?
Super. Every week I need to reply this question, so let's go one more time. The first thing, if we can win 3 consecutive games, we are still thinking that we can do it. We cannot throw the towel. If in these last games that perfectly the team could have accumulated 4, 5 or 6 points in the last run of 3 or 4 games, we would be talking about the game of today as a final for us to jump into that position. So our dream is still alive. There are 8 games to go. Of course, every mistake now is going to be penalizing us a lot in this objective, but we still feel that a short-term objective should be making a run of 3 consecutive wins, something that we didn't do before, and in that moment, I think that the question is going to be from my side to your side. Didn't you think that we could do this? So it's about be minded and go for the next 3 good results.
Next question.
I have 2
questions. First one is regarding the game's perspective. Your last previous press conference, you always mentioning that after Selish's inclusion, that you are looking for the more chances creation and the conversion. But we saw the last 3 matches East Bengal played very well in the second half, completely dominated Goa in the second half. But XG is high, but no conversion. And we are seeing that your striker is more animated in the box with his frustration. What do you want to say about that? Is it his hunger, or is it affecting other players also, or there is less conversion is something to deal with that? This is my first part of the question.
I share your thoughts. I think that there are some moments of the game that we are playing very good football. I think that we are trying to be a dominating side when the easiest thing when you are on the lowest part of the table is defending yourself and minimize risk. This is what I told you. I believe that our team is growing. I believe in the development of our team. I believe in slowly getting our full potential. And if you see the lineup of the last game, you can see 7 or 8 total offensive players. Even Nanda playing on the right back, Maesh on central areas, Vishnu, Dini, Clayton, David had a chance, Richard, Nishu that is a fullback that likes to enjoy when playing in opponent half. So unfortunately in the last game we conceded a set piece in a short corner that they play, mistake of us. But the reality is that we are about to click, we are about to connect, and in particular what you say, yes, every team I have been worked before, I was having 4 or 5 players very easily scoring goals, and that is something that I want to do with East Bengal. I don't want to put the responsibility of the goals only in the player that you mentioned. I think, as I told you, if we are playing offensive players, is to distribute the responsibility of conversion. But it's true that the XG is a lot. In the last press conference, I even mentioned the number of crosses that we did into the box, the number of counterattacks, the number of actions inside the box. So this is something that we are also working. Conversion, getting goals, and what it cannot happen is that when the rivals create 3 or 4 chances, it's easy to concede, but that we need 20 or 25 chances to score one goal. That is something I mentioned this in a different way in the last press conference. I feel that we are dominating, we are doing a lot of things, but at the same time we have to admit that we are not being better than our opponents in both boxes. So football is decided in the boxes, but the reality is that we are having the punishment of the results.
Absolutely, thank you, Coach. My second part of the question is completely on fans' perspective. They wanted to know that there are many senior players are doing mistakes in several games. You were mentioning that many junior players from reserve team have been registered to the senior squad. The fans want to know what is your plan actually with that players, and getting 7 days left for the window. Is there any plan for new inclusion looking after AFC? This is my question.
I start with the last part. The AFC is the motor, the engine, the drive that we are having at this moment to try to recompose, get the results, and be in our maximum level probably in March, when we are going to play this important competition. But at the same time, we don't want to keep aside the importance of the ISL. But it's true that the AFC, again, is the drive for us to keep recomposing and to try to reach that stage in March in our best possible condition. Regarding the B team, there are not many teams in India that have a proper structure of youth teams. East Bengal is one of them. Today we are playing a competition in Kalyani with our reserve team. I'm a coach that I always have been proud to produce and develop players. You can see my history behind. But it's also true that in the current situation of the team, it's more difficult to rely or to give opportunities to the young players. Say that every training day we are having 6, 8, 10 young players. I want to be in touch with them. I want to follow their development. Probably right now, as I say, it's more difficult for me giving chance because of the current situation on the table. But the young players are determined, and they know that if they keep moving forward, East Bengal is a team that is very well connected with the community. We are always proud to have the Bengali players in our squad, and this is the reason why we have a strong belief in our youth categories. So do not have any doubt that we are on top of that, not only me, also our CTO, producing and sending the players and planning every week how to bring the players with us. I'm trying to attend also the practices and the games of these teams. So yeah, we are on that. Besides the first 11 and the substitutions is not showing that they are counting a lot for the performance moments. But again, it's something that we are working on, and of course we want to produce players and make our fans proud that more and more Bengali players can be part of the first 11.
And Coach, this is Rohan who asked you. Coach, I have two questions. First of all, what is the condition of Mr. Anumadhan? And the second, I want to specify the question of what Shopee asked you, that winter window is still open, hence you have lots of injury problems in your team. Is there any possibility to signing any new foreigner or national player?
Till the 31st of January the window is open, and even after 31st of January, if the player is not playing in any other league, we can do moves. But I have to stick with the players we have. So the question is very difficult. Our team is improvable. Yes, it is. I have to rely on the players that we currently have in the squad. Yes, I do. We have the AFC Cup in March, when there is unlimited registration of foreigners. Yes, this is the situation. So the way for me to answer this question is leaving the thing open. So I cannot say yes, because that don't depend on me. It depends on our team management. And I cannot say no, because probably our team is improvable. So that's the only way that I can answer this question. And regarding the condition of Anwar, in the hit that he got in the last game against
the last one
against Mumbai, I don't want to say the medical thing. I prefer to keep it internal, but Anwar has an injury, and probably he will be okay to join the practice in the next 15 days. We need Anwar. Probably that is the timeline. Hopefully less, and I hope that is not more. But if you ask me now about his condition, minimum before 15 days he cannot be on the pitch. If I'm not happy with the performance, I would keep him out of the pitch. So I need to give confidence to him. Strikers, they are players of cycles. Dini in December, November, he had a good cycle. He was an important player for the team, and he was scoring goals. So it's not, of course, the strikers, when they don't score, we can tell that they are not performing well. But when he starts scoring, he's going to be again on the edge. Remember that tomorrow Dini plays with his former team, with Kerala Blasters. And what I'm watching this week on practice is his eyes full of determination and confidence, and Dini desiring to change his tendency of non-scoring goals in the last games. And I think that tomorrow Dini is going to play a good game, he's going to score, and probably stop all the talks around him, because strikers, they live about making goals. And as I say, our team is creating chances. So yeah, all of us were expecting that tomorrow Dini reply your question, getting goals on the pitch.